beautiful. That is some good bandwidth. There's a hair in my coffee cup. Alright. Hello everyone. It's really late stream. A really late stream today. But, I decided to stream today because we have a few things to do today. Such as, checking out what our fossils were from the past couple days. And, also seeing what Nook has in store. We're not going to be going for money or anything at the moment. We are... Well, I mean, we are going to be looking for money. That's kind of the point, really. We're going to be looking for the money rock, and we're going to fish a little bit. But this is mostly for explaining what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a really late stream. If you think this is late, then tomorrow should catch you really off guard. So, what we're going to do on New Year's is going to be a bit different from what we're doing right now. Some weeds about to pull. I guess I can grab any fossils I see on the way. There's Sahara. So, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is 11 Eastern. And we're going to be playing a bunch of new games, or we're going to be playing a bunch of games that day. Some paper that's actually kind of nice. We're going to be playing a bunch of games. And essentially, what's going to happen is we're going to be counting down the time in Animal Crossing to the new year. And what is going to happen is, while this is playing in the background, we're going to have a timer going, really. And in the last half hour, we're going to be just watching the fireworks at the lake. I think that's what happens. We're going to be watching the fireworks at the lake. And we are going to start off the new year with Animal Crossing. Albeit, it's not really going to work out the same way that you would expect. Because we're not going to be able to do anything at midnight in Animal Crossing, especially after the new year. So I thought about that, and what we're going to do is we are actually going to play Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. I'm going to see if I can't get a couple friends here. It's going to be really late, but we'll see if we can't get them on board. And we're going to celebrate New Year's Eve. We're going to celebrate the entirety of December that day, if I can get a group of people going. I hope I can get 2 or 3 extra friends to play. So yeah, that's how it's going to roll out. We're going to try to play some co-op games. These games are probably not going to be kid-friendly. For the most part, anyways. I can get a golden fishing rod from this, I think. No, this is only for the golden axe. I think if I leave this open, it'll be fine, right? Yeah. Let's go find that money rock. If I can get the money rock, I can get a 10,000 bells thing in there. Hello, sorry. I'm not very good at that name for some reason. Hello, Powder Mario. How was your Wednesday? Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Good. That's good. It's always good to have some time to yourself. Gives you time to reflect on the new year. I guess I could sell the fossils I have. I kind of want to turn those in, though, because of the whole museum thing, but I could use the bells, and there is a money tree that I could get from this. I'll just keep looking around for the money rock. So yes, today will be a short stream. Mostly for the fact that it is really late. I usually stream at 2 p.m. It is currently 6. But I wanted to get the information out about how New Year's is going to be handled for the Animal Crossing event. This whole project, really. That's not the rock. Oh, another fossil. So yes. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, I think, is going to be on the tab. If I can get 3 people along for the ride. It's just better with 4 people. A lot of happiness going around. Good fun. Good for the family. Until then, I really don't know how I'm going to handle the rest of the event. It's going to be a little bit bizarre. You'd honestly think it wouldn't be that hard to find a rock. The elusive rock. I think I've already hit that one. No, I didn't. All the rocks are starting to look the same. Is this how the miners went insane? Oop. That's a snowball. Hello. Are you the one? No, you are not. I swear if it's the same rock. No, that's not the same rock. Weird. Trees. Trees everywhere. More snowballs. Have I hit this rock yet? Don't think so, but still not the one. This is not the... That was not the rock I was looking for. I think going into something makes the shiny spot go away, so... I think I... Yeah, that's totally mine. I totally won't sell it. I guess I can check if that spot's still there, and I doubt it. Yeah, it's gone. Oh well. I can still get the money rock, if I can find it. Oop. That's a pitfall. Of course it was a pitfall. Some sad little prankster somewhere Thought it would be funny to do that. It's kind of funny, but not if you're the one in the pit. Gotta put the lotion on the skin. Alright. Let's see here. So PTM, do you have any history with Animal Crossing, I wonder? Do you have any history with Animal Crossing? I forgot how long he rambles about dinosaurs. Ah, I see. Well, let me just tell you something really specific about Blathers here. The newer ones, he starts to ramble and then he cuts himself off partially through because, whenever he talks about, like, whenever you finish a dinosaur, like whenever you finish a fossil exhibit for a specific dinosaur, or you get one of the special fossils like a trilobite or a dinosaur egg, he goes on like a 30-second rant about it, just talking about history and everything. It gets really irritating. The other ones, he stops himself and is just like, oh, well, I was about to ramble, wasn't I? Well, thank you for your donation. Yep, old Blathers. Fitting to his name. The funny thing is that, I don't think City Folk maybe was the first one. But the older Animal Crossings, you had to mail fossils to the museum to get them analyzed, and then you get them sent back, which then you could donate to Blathers or sell as you see fit. But in the newer ones, he's a certified fossil analyst, and he does the fossil thing for you, which is fantastic, because this takes forever. I sent 10 fossils yesterday, and I only got 3 back today. I'd have to know where the other 7 are. And this isn't very good at all. Ooh. There's the other fossil. Every day, 5 fossils. I've been playing Animal Crossing since I was 8. I got this game. This is actually the same copy I had when I was 8 years old. This is the same copy I have. So I've been playing it ever since it came out. Kind of got weird with Wild World and everything. I used to play this with my family, my sister and my mom a lot. Wild World, they kind of stopped playing games around that time. Is this the rock? No. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna talk to the wishing well. Yeah, I have to start adding flowers to some of these places. Because it's kind of barren. I think my favorite is New Leaf, though. Like, all things considered, New Leaf is the one with the most going for it. Like, you're the mayor of the town now, instead of just a normal house owner. / mortgage. Troll. Victim. Anyways. New Leaf just does a lot for the game, I think. That's a really good starting point for people who want to get into Animal Crossing at any point. As for this one, what it has going for it is the fact that it had e-reader support, which, as we know, is the system Nintendo tried to implement back in 2000. It lasted 2-3 years, up until 2005 maybe. And then it kind of tanked. And as we know, Amiibo are really, really popular. And the e-reader is basically the precursor to Amiibo and Amiibo cards. Which, very coincidentally, the Amiibo cards are used for the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer game on the DS, on the 3DS. If you have that AFC scanner that you can use for the 3DSs. The new 3DSs have them already in them, but I think it's kind of interesting that people always complain about games that are just like, oh, you need Amiibo for this. This is terrible. It's like, no. You want to know what's terrible? Buying... Oh, there's money. Rock. Hello. You want to know what's terrible? Buying something for $50 in order to then pay $10 per pack for something that is only used for one game. Imagine, if you will, little 10-year-old me getting an e-reader. And actually, probably 9. I was probably 9 at the time. I got an e-reader really early on, and about a year later, I got a copy of Super Mario Advance 4, which is the Super Mario Bros. 3 Game Boy Advance port, and that had e-reader support. What the e-reader support did was it allowed you to use the e-reader to scan cards, which could give you items. And if I have time, I'll show you the cards, because I think they're hilarious. Some of them were cards that you scanned, and there was another world that you could warp to in the game, and it basically allowed you to warp to a special world where the cards that you scanned added brand new levels to the game. So some of them were like classic World 1-1 and Super Mario 3, hooray! And some of them were like levels where all of the tiles in the entire level were music blocks, so the entire level you were bouncing around. Other ones were you getting chased by boos, you know, so on and so forth. That kind of stuff. Other ones gave you access to items that you shouldn't ever have in Super Mario Bros. 3. There was an e-reader card that I have that allowed you to bring in the cape from Super Mario World into Super Mario Bros. 3. One of the most broken power-ups of all time is in one of the easiest games to break when flying over stuff. It's very hilarious to me. But they also had demo cards, which you could scan, and it would play a video of like a speedrun of the level, or how to get the secret Toad house in some of the levels. There were also cards that gave you all 3 of the good suits, like the hammer suit, the frog suit, the tanuki suit. Gave you all that. So, anytime somebody is just like, you know, Amiibo cards are kind of, they're gonna die out. I'm like, no, these things are going to stay a pretty common thing in a lot of games, because if you understood how difficult it was to own an e-reader, then you should really understand how bad it was that only like 6 games supported the e-reader. One of them was Pokemon Channel, which was that spin-off of Hey You Pikachu. That had e-reader support. And if you dared to bend one of the cards by accident, you wouldn't be able to use that e-reader card ever, because even a tiny little like bump in the scan line on that thing and it would never work. So I'm going to order a Game Boy Advance to GameCube link cable, Because the one I have I gave to a friend and never got back. Do I have this? I think I turned this in. Anyways, the point is, I still have the Animal Crossing e-reader card that allows you to go to Cabin Island. And the reason I know this is because I spent 10 minutes in a tiny little box full of cards digging around to try to find, hey, a Crucian card. Or just a card. Alright. Anyways, I spent 10 minutes looking around in a box that was just full of random cards, you know, Pokemon cards, a lot of poker cards for some reason. Like an unhealthy amount of poker cards. And I found about 300 e-reader cards. So, there's that. So yeah, 8-year-old me bought into the e-reader hype, and I don't have any regrets except for the fact that it costed, whoops, in order for me to use the island, just one tiny thing in Animal Crossing, let me point that out, an island, a specific tiny place on the island, I needed an e-reader which costed maybe $50, I needed a Game Boy Advance to GameCube link cable, which was, I think, $15 at the time. You can get it for maybe $10 now. And you also had to have the e-reader card, which if it busted, you wouldn't ever be able to go to the island in the first place. So for all of this, you needed, as well, a Game Boy Advance. So if you didn't have a Game Boy Advance and you just had a GameCube, you had to buy a Game Boy Advance or borrow a friend's. If you had to do the former, you had to spend $80 to get a Game Boy Advance, and maybe $100 if you had to get a Game Boy Advance SP. And for all of that, you get to go to an island where it's always sunny and you can get coconuts. And you play a little game on your Game Boy Advance that lets you bury stuff and by chance perhaps get 2 of the weirdest NES titles ever. I think one of them is baseball. The other one isn't weird, it's Wario's Woods. But the point is, you had to spend $150 in order to go to this island in this game. And it is absurd to me that people are looking at Amiibo Festival and it's just like, oh, that should be free. You should get the Amiibo cards and the Amiibo for $30 and get the game for free because all it requires Amiibo to play. It's like, yes, but remember that one time in Animal Crossing on the GameCube where you had to spend $150 and a peripheral that would barely last a year in order to access an island? Please, I will buy that game in a heartbeat if it's the easiest thing in the world. I bought it for my mom as a Christmas gift, and we play it maybe weekly now. It's fantastic. It's really fun. It's not about winning, it's about being happy. And that's the rant I went on Twitter about, because you follow me on Twitter, PTM, and I know for a fact that I really don't understand the whole Amiibo hate thing anymore, because after getting Amiibo Festival and realizing how fun it was, I went ahead and did some reflection on other stuff, and I remember that Amiibo cards are basically e-reader cards, so I got all my e-reader cards, and I looked, and I realized how stupid it was that the e-reader only worked on one game at one time. If you wanted to use the Animal Crossing Island, you had to have an empty e-reader. So if you had, let's say, for instance, Donkey Kong or Urban Champion on the e-reader card selection, then you had to scan it out. You had to scan over it because it could only save one thing. Oh, cool. A goldfish. But yeah, I find it ridiculous. I find it ridiculous that the whole Amiibo Festival thing and Amiibo cards are the thing that are breaking people's minds. They're just like, oh, that's terrible. Why are they making people spend $60 on a game when it only comes with 2 Amiibo and 3 Amiibo cards? The three Amiibo cards come with the 2 Amiibo, so that's, I'd say, $30. Because a pack of 6 Amiibo cards, where's the museum? A pack of 6 Amiibo cards right now, Series 1 Animal Crossing Amiibo cards are $6. $6. I had to pay $10 for a pack of 9 e-reader cards that only worked for one game. And sometimes you had to pay $10 for one of the e-reader NES games. So I don't find any issue with it at all. I'm like, sign me up. A $30 game with 2 amiibo and 3 amiibo cards? That sounds great. Sounds a hell of a lot better than $150 to play one NES game. Yeah, that's all I had to say on that matter, really. That's where I usually sign off, because I've gotten hate mail about it. Hello, Jan Skilly, to the chat as well. I've actually gotten hate mail about it too. I got random messages on my YouTube channel before. 1 or 2. They're usually people trying to tell me that I'm wrong. It's nothing like toxic or anything like death threats or anything. It's just hilarious. Mostly people talking in all caps. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't let that kind of stuff. I usually don't let that kind of stuff get to me, because we're in an age where microtransactions and DLC are a very common thing. And it's like, people spend $20, $30, $50 on a digital currency in, say, GTA 5, or Warframe, or Blacklight Retribution, and any of the free-to-play games that have a cryptocurrency, or not a cryptocurrency, a digital currency, League of Legends in particular. People are like spending $50, $100, $200 a day. And I find it hilarious that people spend that much money on a currency just for one specific game. It's like, oh yeah, these amiibo work with like 5 different games. You can buy one and they work with all your games and give you special bonuses. And people are just like, they're worth too much money. It's $13 for one figure. It only gives you specific stuff. It's like, well, you just paid $15 to get just enough Riot points to unlock that one champion you like in League. So, you really don't have any place to talk. Of course, there are those people that... And it also annoys me when people are just like, well, I'll wait for it to go on sale. It'll be good when it's on sale. It's like, if you really are looking at a game and it's just like, that game looks amazing, I'm gonna wait for it to be $30 off of its tag in order to play it. It's like, just don't buy it then. It's like, don't look at it if it's just like, that game doesn't look like it's worth the current price tag. It's like, if they think it's worth the price tag, then maybe it's worth the price tag. Of course, there are some very specific exceptions, like Ride to Hell Retribution or Sonic 06. But it's like, I understand the need to be like, I want to wait until this game is cheaper. It's like, I understand the need to be a budget gamer. That's fine. It's fine to be a budget gamer. But it's the kind of people that are like, I don't like this game at all, and I'm going to wait until it's half off to start playing it so that I can hate it more. It's like, don't buy it. It's like, not worth, if it's not worth the money now, and you don't know, and you don't think it'll be for you, then don't buy it later when it's cheaper. You know? Because all you're going to do is add toxicity to a community that probably enjoys it a lot. This boils over into Destiny for me as well. A lot of people waited until Destiny went on sale. Which is fine, you know. I think that the base game of Destiny is only worth $40, $30. And the fact that the Legendary Edition comes with all the expansions for the base price is actually really good. You know, $60 for the base game and 3 expansions that give you a ton of content, that's worth it. Good evening, Jan Skilly. Jan Skilly? I'll figure out your name later. But yeah. I'm also a very outspoken person when it comes to gaming. That's the thing that a lot of people seem to get really early on, is that I'm really outspoken about gaming. Because I've been around so long with gaming culture. Like, I've been playing games since I was 3. And I know that there are people older than me that play a lot of games. There are definitely a lot of people older that play games. Like, there are people who are in their 30s or 40s that have been playing games since gaming was a thing. And I respect them heavily for that. But I was born right around the time that the internet was becoming a huge thing. And I remember... I know 2 things now. 1, Earthbound didn't seem as popular in 1995 because the internet wasn't a very common thing then. You know, there wasn't a really good way for people to communicate that Earthbound was an amazing game. And 2, Undertale is basically receiving that same kind of impact as Earthbound did, but with the full unfiltered realization that the internet is so expansive that the popularity of that game seems to shine very greatly, I've noticed. Like, I think Undertale has the same popularity range, if not more, because of the internet, that it has the same popularity range as Earthbound did when it came out. For the same reason. And I think that it applies to a lot of games if you think about it. Like, I think Bravely Default probably had a good run of that as well. Like, they had a very high run of it. No, I don't have anything else to sell. Oops. Almost spilled my coffee. Alright, here's a question for you guys. What is your game of the year? Mine would have to go to Bloodborne. Bloodborne was just that game that blew me out of the water. It was the game that made me glad that I got a PS4 when I did. I got it for Destiny, but also for Bloodborne when it got announced. Where to go? What am I doing? Alright, I'm gonna go talk to Sable today. I need to go talk to Sable. Here we go. Yeah, do you guys have a game of the year? I mean, it is really the end of the year right now. Oops. I should watch the Animal Crossing movie again. I wonder if I can find it easily. I'm sure I can if I look in the right areas. For the record, there is an Animal Crossing anime movie that did release right around when Wild World came out. And even if you don't understand Japanese, you don't really need subtitles to understand what's going on, especially if you're a big Animal Crossing person. You haven't played any new releases this year. That's actually surprisingly impressive, considering how easy it was to find a new release this year. Yeah, it's Splatoon, Monster Hunter, Bloodborne. I guess if you spent your entire year playing Smash or Mario Kart 8, that makes sense. Wow, no new releases this year. That's impressive. Like, that's actually really surprising to me that you haven't played any new releases this year. This year was huge! And that's not to show, it's not to show offense or anything, but wow. Yeah, I played a bunch of games on Twitch as well. I played Metal Gear Solid 5 on Twitch, Fallout 4, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Basically, whenever I felt like streaming, I would do it. And this is kind of the start of... this is the main reason for this project, is to try to get myself used to streaming daily, because that's kind of a thing I want to start doing from now on. Because streaming is really fun. There's a lot of audience interactivity. And also I get to play whatever games I want. It's kind of fun in the end. It starts off with really weird projects like, I'm going to play Animal Crossing daily, try to get my entire debt cleared, which is all house upgrades. I'm going to try to finish every single section in the museum, even the paintings. And, let's see here. How about I try to go for all golden tools? And all NES games. Getting all the NES games is going to be a chore, because the only way for you to get NES games is through the monthly raffle. And you can only get 2 of them. There's a really weird thing about it. You can only get 2 of the NES games from the island. That's Baseball and Wario's Woods. The other 12 are... well, the other 13 are things that you can acquire in the game. One of them is from April Fool's Day, which is Super Tortimer. The other 12 are things you can only get in the raffles. And 2 of them were e-reader exclusives. One of them was Ice Climbers. But the thing is that only one of those games ever were put into the Animal Crossing e-reader series. Because of the e-reader's failure to sell, they never released a Series 2, which is where the other game was. I can actually find out what games there were. Because there were 17, I think. Here we go. So, well, actually there were a lot more. Alright. So, 8 of the games you could collect from the lottery and Red, or villagers could bury these as well. You could get Balloon Fight, Clue Land, Donkey Kong Jr. Math, Excite Bike, Golf, Pinball, and Tennis. All of them very classic NES launch title games. Yeah, no time manipulation. I'm not going to do that. 2 of the games from the island, like I said, are Baseball and Wario's Woods. The other 5 are from Nintendo giveaways, which was kind of like a promotional thing. Which was kind of a promotional thing that Nintendo did with Nintendo Power. Like, you signed in for this contest, and you, along with 4 other winners, would get one of the 5 games. And the codes for these games are really common knowledge now. One of them was soccer. One of them was Donkey Kong Jr. The other one was Donkey Kong 3. The other one was Clue Land D, which was like a sequel/expansion. And the other one was Punch-Out. Like, Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream. And the other 4 were really surprising. Like I said, there were actually 2 games that never came out for the e-reader support, and those were because e-reader never really got past Series 3 for a lot of games, and Animal Crossing Series 4 was the big one, the one that never came out. Mario Bros. And Ice Climbers were the 2, or Ice Climber, rather. Mario Bros. And Ice Climber were the 2 big ones. Those were the ones that came with the e-reader support. The other 2 require you to use a cheating device, you know, Action Replay, Game Shark, etc. And those were Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. Now, those have really specific history behind it, because Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda were planned to be in the game at one point. You can hack them in with a cheating device. But the cool thing is that Super Mario Bros. Actually did release in Japan under Animal Forest Plus in the Famitsu giveaway. But The Legend of Zelda requires a cheating device full out. And the reason why is because it was planned to have them in the game to begin with, but those 2 games wound up being the first 2 games to release for the NES Classics collection for the Game Boy Advance, along with Metroid. So if you want to have a little piece of history, you can get the NES Classics versions of those, because those were planned to be in Animal Crossing at one point. Those aren't easy to come by. Actually, I might be wrong. Those are probably extremely easy to come by. God, I keep finding cans. People really don't know where to put their junk, do they? But yeah, there are 17, or actually 21 Animal Crossing NES games. Or 19. God, I'm not good at counting right now. I woke up like a half hour ago. Not even a half hour ago. I woke up an hour ago. Took a shower, started streaming. Okay. So yeah, 19 NES titles and only 15 of them are accessible without cheating. Or if you're really lucky, you can get, or if you're really lucky, you can find the Series 4 cards, but they're extremely rare. Where else? I've been kind of just rambling and walking around, so I haven't really been doing anything. That is my biggest flaw about this kind of thing. When I stream, I ramble. So yeah. Like I said, this is going to be a really short stream. It's only going to be an hour. I'm not going to be playing it much. In fact, I'm probably actually going to stop in a couple of minutes because dinner's ready and I want to eat. And then I'm going to go lay it back down because I haven't been sleeping well lately because I've been working my ass off the past couple days to figure out what I'm going to do next year. And next year is going to be really interesting, I think, for the streaming side of things. If I can figure out YouTube editing, or if I can figure out my editing software, what's wrong with it anyways, then I'll be doing that. But yeah. I'm going to sell this stuff. Oop, there's a weed. So yes, I'm going to pop up the information once again. If you are interested, New Year's Eve, we're going to be celebrating New Year's Day with Animal Crossing. We're going to be playing a few different games here and there. And we're going to start really late in order to kind of keep people on Eastern time ready. We're going to start at 8 p.m. and then we're going to be playing random games while having the countdown timer going in Animal Crossing. So hopefully everybody comes around. We might play some random games here and there. Could be fun. We'll see. But yeah, if you want to come around and hang out around that time, then we'll be playing some Animal Crossing just to get it set up and everything. And then the countdown within the last hour, we'll be doing a lot of talking and everything. It's good. I don't know what I'm gonna do for New Year's really, but hopefully that is gonna be a good time to start. We'll only find out in time, really. But yeah, today is a rather short stream, and I'm sorry for that. But today was not a really good day because I slept in really late. Tomorrow I might stream a bit earlier than 8, but that's when you should come around and hang out. What else? Oh yeah. Tomorrow I'm probably going to be playing a game with a couple friends. It might be Borderlands. I don't know what we're going to do that day. Either way, come around and hang out. We'll probably start around noonish. I'll stream then. But yeah. Thanks everyone for coming along. I'll see y'all tomorrow when we do the New Year thing. If you're here earlier to watch us play Borderlands or whatever game we just had to play that day, then you drop in, say hello, and you hang out. It's just 3 idiots playing a shooter or something like that. But yeah, thank y'all for coming, and I will see you all tomorrow.